Hello and welcome back. We are in a creative world and we are attempting to build a 10K megabase. Last time we put together a blue circuit build. We haven't tested any of these, so we've got that to come. This uses obviously a blue circuit machine here. It's fed by one red circuit machine and one green circuit machine. That is directly inserted with coils, and through an accident of ratios, this comes out at approximately what you want. There's a slight excess of red circuits and a not insignificant excess of reds. So we're good for greens, we're really good for reds. We're also down by 1/5 of a coil machine. That's not a problem because that's the coils for the red build. And the solution to that is a couple of coil assemblers which are dotted around the build here. Yeah, down at the bottom. We also need a few red circuits a few green circuits purely for the red circuit build. That's what this machine does. Then some plastic, and that's about it. Then smelting for the copper and iron plates. So this blue circuit build produces 625 blue circuits a minute, which is 1/4 of what this consumes. And this is a 1/4 gold science build. Okay, so what next? If we go back to the planner, we need batteries. And that takes 7 chemical plants. And we need 3 iron and 3 copper plate smelters. We're also going to need to make sulfuric acid, which I think we'll make on site from petroleum. So let's see if we can put together that build. And the interesting thing I think is this is 2 builds deep. We can't make it 3 builds deep because we do direct insert of the material of the coils into the 2 gold science. So we're kind of stuck there with that as the option. I think we're missing a load of boxes here. So I think there'd be an argument for shuffling this whole build around so that the smelters were at the front and then these were behind. Anyway, we can, that's the kind of micromanagement optimizations we can deal with later. But it does mean the way this is set up at the moment, there's a single tile at the back, which would allow us to pass in batteries from a machine making batteries. Okay, so we would need 7 of these. Yeah. Anyway, you get the idea. So these nodes need sulfuric acid. They also need plates. They need copper and iron plates. And then, in addition, we need to make the sulfur. So I think what I'm going to do is pull all this up. We'll go over to a blank bit of the map and we'll start seeing how this all comes out. Okay. And because it's fluids, I have found fluids to be more accurately modeled by Max Rate Calculator than by Helmod. So let's give it a go. Okay, so this is going to make batteries. And we can prod mod this, I believe. Yeah, we can. And for now, let's just put some beacons around it. It's going to be an open beaconing. Is it? No, it might be a closed beacon. Yeah, it's going to have to be an open beaconing because we're going to be taking in material this side and putting it out this side. Okay. Okay. And Okay, so that is that's our batteries. Let's put that down. We'll deal with boxes in a minute. Okay, so we need to feed this with sulfuric acid. Okay, and sulfuric acid, there we go. No, that's the wrong one. Sulfuric acid, there we are. Now, I have a dim and distant memory that for each sulfuric acid machine you have, you need 2 sulfur machines. So we're going to max rate all of this, and I actually don't know how many okay, so that can't go there. Doesn't matter. We'll work it out. I actually don't know any of the ratios for these. So I don't know how many batteries machines we can drive with this, for example. But I'm fairly certain we need 2 sulfur machines for the sulfuric acid. Okay. And I've got a feeling we want that around that way so that we can pipe this in. Of course, that's right in the middle of where a beacon lands. Anyway, forget the pipes. We'll sort pipes out later. Okay, so let's put down this. Remember, we want, in the final deal, we want 7 battery machines. Okay, so let's max rate this. Okay, so we have way more sulfuric acid than we need. And we are down, ooh, we're way down on sulfur. Okay, let's put prop mods in. That's probably what it is. Okay. That's better. Okay, so we're now bang on the nose for sulfur. We are only using 2 and a bit % of our sulfuric acid. So let's put down 7 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and we're using slightly, what, 0.569, 0.57. Okay, so this requires, sorry, this consumes 13.7 K of sulfuric acid. We are producing 31.9 K. Now, this build here, this blue build, each of the blue machines needs some sulfuric acid. Let's run this. Okay, how much sulfuric acid? 20. Sorry, 2. Okay, so remember we'd have 4 of these builds, so that would be 8K. I think we can have a single sulfuric acid maker for this whole site. Okay, let's take a blue print of this because counting is tricky. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's annoying. Is there room up here? Yeah, there is. 4 of those. All right. So that should be the correct ratio of blue circuits. No, I'm nowhere near the bottom corner, am I? Okay, we have way more sulfuric acid than we need. So I'm wondering if we just need the one sulfuric acid machine for the entire... All right, let's do this. Didn't mean to blueprint it. What an idiot. Right, let's try again. And down we go. Okay, that's better. Come on, calculate away. Okay, so yeah, we're still over on sulfuric acid. Now we're going to have to produce 1,000 blue circuits for satellites. It's 100 per satellite. We're going to be launching 10 a minute, so that's 1,000. We also need some... Do we need any other sulfuric acid? Are there any other things with batteries? Yes, we need some batteries to put into the capacitors for the satellite. Okay, but I've got a feeling we may be able to get away with one or at the most 2 sulfuric acid making machines for the entire build. Oh, hang on. This is 1/4, so we'll have 4 of these. Okay, so I think because of the way these numbers are working out, perhaps we could get away with a shared sulfuric acid build for the whole of this. All right, let's do this. I shouldn't have got rid of those numbers. I'm sorry. It was down at 0.4, wasn't it? So if we had 4 of these, we'd need 2, perhaps 3 sulfuric acid machines. Let's do it once more. Okay. There we are. Okay, so 21 versus 31. So this is a 1/4 build. So we would need, I think, roughly 3 sulfuric acid machines to run the 4 builds. That's roughly the right number in my head. So is it really a problem to run 4 of them? It's just 1 extra machine, isn't it? And it does keep the builds self-contained. And if we did it this way, we could basically have refineries that turn everything into petroleum, and then it gets split into plastic and into sulfuric acid. So that, yeah. All right, so we could either have 1 refinery for this site, or we could have, and then 4 of them, or we could have 1 refinery which is delving out to the 4 sites, or we could have a separate refinery for these builds and this build. Where's our one of those? Okay, so let's max rate this and see if how are we doing for petroleum? Okay, so we'd need, without any cracking, we'd need 3 of these, but probably with the cracking, is that right? Yeah, and then we'd have a, right. take one of these, put it down here. So this would be heavy. That's it. I can never make these things work well. I can never work out the way around all the numbers go with fluids. Oh, grief. Anyway, I think this produces overall 20k of petroleum, and this consumes 29. Okay, so we're probably looking at 2 refineries and then the cracking to go with it. For this, I'm not sure how to do this, but I am now reasonably certain that I don't want to do the sulfur in the middle of here. So let's grab that and label it as sulfuric acid and sulfur. Okay. Get rid of all of that. Okay, so that's 7 of these. Yep. They need an output. Then they need, okay, this is where we have issues with pipes. So I need these to have more of a gap. All right, let's blueprint one of these out and see if we can fix it. Okay. All right, and the other thing to worry about is if we can get enough sulfuric acid down this line to run all these battery machines. We may find that in practice we can't. We may hit pipe capacity issues. Right, so we could put them on that way. And we would move, well, whatever we do, we're gonna have to move those out. And then to keep the stride going, we need those moved out. So I think we're looking at that pattern. Maybe that? That doesn't touch. Yeah, so that's still 12 beacons. We can either have it that way around or that way around. This way the pipe would go like that. And then we'd need the input here. I need to power this up to set the request. There we are. Some plates. And that would go out there. Okay. Let's take this away. Yeah, I'm not really liking the substation thing. There we are. So that's as compressed as I can see how to make it. Yep. Now, this requires copper and iron. I'm just wondering how many it requires. So we have 7 batteries and we have 3 copper, 3 iron to feed it. which isn't very much, but perhaps we could do a direct insert. So if I had I'm trying to really, really cut down on everything, really. It would make the build very wide, which is a problem. All right, let's take that away. We'll blueprint this. Oh, I haven't set the output size. This isn't going to work very well because we are facing onto the back of this, where we have limits on how we can shuffle the beaconing. But I think that's a ship we can cross when we jump it. Okay. Let's assume we can do this for now. We will fix it later. Okay, so this, then we need, and let's just put this down for now. So iron, since they all need both, let's just interleave them. One, two, three, four, five, six in total. We need 3 of each, 6. Okay, so this we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's put some ore in these to check that things... Try again. Right, I needed to put half in, not all, so that's a right click rather than a left click. Okay, let's take this. Yeah, this is all good. So we have half an extra machine of each. See, the other way to do it would be to somehow direct insert from the smelters. So the smelters would pick up from bots. Then we would have a copper smelter on one side and an iron smelter on the other side of a battery machine. And we would just shuffle them in. The problem with that is the end machines. Because we can't lay this out in a circle. The end machines would need extra smelters, redundant smelters. So it's the trade-off between having direct insert and having extra machines. I'm going to go with this version. Okay, so can we now shuffle this to fit this beacon pattern? I don't especially like doing it because it does spread our build out, but we have half of each in hand, which means we've got some capacity to under beacon things. Right, let's move that down there. Let's then delete it from here and move it back here. Okay. And that's roughly centered. Is this roughly centered? Yeah, very roughly. Okay, so let's rate this. And of course I haven't got the ores put in, so it doesn't know what the recipe is, because it's annoying like that. Right, and then copper into that, that, and that. Okay, so we've lost some performance, but it's not so much as to make a difference. Yep, that's fine. So then the question is, can we bolt this meaningfully onto the back of this? And the answer is, I don't know, but I think that is a job for next time. So next time we will attempt to graft this onto the back of this build and shuffle all the beacons to make things work out. And then we will look at anything else we can optimize here and put in a train track below. Yeah, see how that all goes. However, that's a job for a different time. So until that time, thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.